Well, I want to thank everybody for coming this evening. Tonight, we are going to talk about the elephant in the room. We are going to talk about pachyderms on stamps. And our presenter this evening is Alan Barasch. Alan has done many presentations for us before. He's a member of oodles and oodles of philatelic societies and clubs. But I found a little fun fact about Alan today, and so I want to read you a little story. Alan said, I was a freshman in college at the University of Tennessee, Knoxville, and I was telling a friend about my collection. At the time, it was a total of 5 volumes, including Israel, a scattering of recent US, and some foreign. This friend looked at it in disgust and said, real collectors specialize in something. They do not try to collect the world. So I pulled my catalog off the shelf and opened it at random. It fell open to Falkland Islands over 50 years later, and I'm still at it. And I just thought that was hilarious. I just love that. We all have our specific thing and our fun reasons that we collect it. But I thought that was very unusual. And so I wanted to share that with you. But anyway, we are thankful that Alan is with us tonight. He's going to do us a fun little presentation on um, elephants. And Alan, take it away.
So tonight we're going to talk about the elephant family on stamps and talk a little bit about what the heck is happening with elephants. So here's what I'm going to talk about. I'm going to talk about some prehistoric elephants or elephant family, African elephants, Asian elephants, zoos and circuses, fictional elephants, and even some things called elephant. So when Europeans arrived in Africa or into Asia about 1500 during the Age of Discovery, there were 26 million elephants in Africa and about 250,000 in Asia. By the time of around 1900 or thereabouts, the population in Africa was almost down by 60%, and also a large portion in Asia. Now they're estimating there's about 500,000 African elephants left and about 50,000 in Asia. So they did a census, the Great Elephant Census, in 2016, and the areas in red, you can see that they're decreasing. This figure here, this is actually the range of where the elephants are. It's not just a guy sitting there on the map. But we can see that Botswana and Tanzania and Zambia seem to be where they're steady or increasing. So the elephants we'll be talking about are African elephants and some ancient elephants, and so we'll get to the mammoths, we'll get to the Asian elephants and everybody, but this is where they all come from. And the first ancient elephant we'll talk about is Stegodon. And he's a pretty awesome looking creature with very long tusks and a very long trunk. And he flourished in Asia from about 8 to 11 million years ago, went extinct in Java first and later in India. And then we have the mastodon, who's the was mostly in North America. I'm in Missouri, and there's actually a Mastodon State Park here in Missouri. I haven't been there yet, but it's on my list. But they were roaming this area from about 5 million years ago until 30,000 years ago. So they probably met some people along the way. And they're also a very strange looking trunk and a real long mouth and big tusk. And then the woolly mammoths, or the mammoth. We have the mammoth lived until about 4,000 years ago. And the woolly mammoth kind of broke off, and they were the Arctic type part of the family. You know, you needed to be woolly to live in the Arctic and Canada and North America and whatnot. So we're going to look at two groups of modern elephants: the African and the Asian. And we can all read it, but I'll talk about it a little bit. The African have a very large ear. It's shaped sort of like the map of Africa. The Asian elephant, the ears are smaller and more round. The African elephant, the trunk has it's like little pinchers, and the Asian, it's one finger. It's so they twist everything with the whole trunk. African elephants have rounded heads, and the Asian have a twin dome. And then we'll talk about the tusk on the various African elephants and the Asian separately. So, African elephants, the forest elephants live in the forest in West Africa and the Congo Valley, and they get up to about 10 feet tall. What I found interesting is they said seeds that pass through an elephant germinate really well, and they're known as the mega gardener of the forest because they help with spreading seeds and plants. Then the bush elephant lives in the savannas, the grasslands in the east, including Ethiopia, Botswana, Tanzania, Kenya, Uganda, Zimbabwe. I don't know how Angola got in there, but and they are much bigger. So now we're going to see some elephants. So here's some bush elephants. Botswana has the majority of the bush elephants. They have about 130,000. And here's some pictures of the elephants. Japan was doing a joint issue with, and I can't read it. I should have wrote it down. But Botswana and in Africa, they talk about the big five: the hippopotamus, the elephant, the rhinoceros, the Cape buffalo, and lions. So here are the it's hard to find, where the elephants are living because they'll hide in the forest, and maybe they're captured on film and maybe not. But the bush elephants have long curved tusk, and some more bush elephants. I found this one from Benadir kind of interesting because his head looks kind of misshapen and his ears kind of hanging off, and But anyway, so we have the elephant from Angola and Burundi and Swaziland, now known as Eswatini, and even the United States put African elephant herd on stamp. In forest elephants, their tusks are straight and they sort of point downward. So we have these from Ivory Coast and from a intentional invert from Liberia, Ghana, Nigeria. Why was a country called Ivory Coast? Well, that was the place to go and get ivory to make piano keys and whatever else they made with ivory in those days. And the name is still there. But the forest elephants make up about 30% of the population, and they're really hard to study because if they're hiding in the bush, they're until they come out in the open, it's hard to count them. And some more forest elephants from Botswana and Belgian Congo and Guinea-Bissau and Sierra Leone and Spanish Guinea and Congo. I gave this presentation to my local club a month ago so that I could test it out on a real audience. And they said, "You didn't say anything about Hannibal." So here is Hannibal. He crossed the Alps with 38 war elephants he brought from Tunisia in 218 BCE. And these kind of look more like well, the one from Chad kind of looks like a movie poster or something. And Guyana, I don't know, he looks kind of cartoonish, but here's Hannibal. I love baby elephants. And here are some cute ones. This little guy from Gambia and the one from Ivory Coast is suckling, and a little family from Tanzania, Guinea, France, and Laos. Not all, not all the babies are in Africa. And more babies from Namibia and Burundi, Zimbabwe, Hungary issued a cute family. During COVID, Austria printed a stamp on toilet paper with this little picture of a baby elephant being 1 meter long and saying, "This is the distance for social distancing." And, hey, it's a baby elephant. So now we get to Asian elephants. It's largest land mammal in Asia, and they're everywhere from dry to wet forests, grasslands, 13 countries. I'm going to be showing you their historic territory in a moment. But Asian elephants have been put to work. It's hard to put a African elephant to work, but the Asian elephants have been workers for many, many, many years. So at one time, the Asian elephant was all the way from the everywhere around the Indian Ocean, the South China Sea, Java. So this is showing us that, they were in India and Nepal and Bangladesh and Vietnam and Indonesia, and just a little bit of everywhere. And some Asian elephants from Malaysia and Cambodia. I'm not so sure about this blue guy down here with the looks like he's got painted toenails, from Laos and Vietnam. And from Sri Lanka, wild elephants crossing a stream, and Bangladesh, and North Borneo. Elephants are everywhere. Jennifer and I were talking about the a story about elephants, and I think this one up in the upper left corner, Sri Lanka, covers the story, which I can't remember. There's a sandalwood carving from India in the lower left, and people riding elephants in Vietnam. This guy on the Indonesian stamp, he just doesn't look good. It looks like his eyes, he looks sad or something. And Uzbekistan did an elephant and baby, but I don't think they ever had elephants. And more from India and Tajikistan and Australia wanted to let us know that, yes, they're putting endangered species on stamps in Thailand. And here's some working elephants, whether they're pulling a cart, or they're a war elephant, or they're helping with logging. So we've got from Jaipur state in India and Thailand, and this one down here is the Japanese occupation of Burma during the Second World War. There's some Thailand has some elephants working in the logging industry, and people riding elephants. Burma has another one, this purple one, where he's helping move logs. And Laos, a ceremonial elephant wearing a little cap, and we'll be getting to some more of them in just a moment. And some elephants wearing a cape, or has been decorated with pictures all over from Thailand and Laos for either religious ceremonies or national ceremonies. Mozambique put elephants on their coat of arms. And more ceremonial elephants. A person in a elephant type costume from Upper Volta, now known as Burkina Faso. Looks like a religious ceremony from Thailand. And the three-headed elephant from Thailand in the blue stamp below, and praying with the elephant from Sri Lanka. Even Denmark gets into the. They have the Order of the Elephant. It's a Danish order of chivalry. I have trouble saying the word. Usually reserved for members of the royal family and some other people that they decide to confer it on. But some elephants ready for ceremonies from Bhutan and Sri Lanka. And some sacred elephants. The Ganesha, the god of wisdom and prosperity, is sort of like half man and half elephant. And we have some ceremonies from a coronation elephants in Thailand, and from Laos, the god is sitting on some elephants, or the sedan chair is on top of an elephant. So if you collect elephants, you know, there sometimes you see them with a raised trunk. Raised trunk symbolizes good luck, prosperity, success, and positive energy. And a lower trunk is still on that same way as for longevity and fertility and wish fulfillment, stability and humility. And so I've got you a little sampling of both here. We got some zoo and circus elephants. I never want to see another elephant trying to stand on a little box, or standing on his head, or trying to stand up on his back legs. They're just really not made for that. I do like this one from Monaco with somebody kind of hugging the elephant's trunk. The one at the top right is for the a zoo, and but the rest, you know, and the zoo in the Czech Republic, or some silly looking things they had elephants doing, standing on two legs, opposite legs, from Bulgaria, or standing on its head from Monaco. I think it's trying to balance on a big rubber ball from Switzerland, and also from East Germany. And then we have a circus poster for the Algae Barnes circus that covered the United States in the 19th century. And some fictional elephants, 5 weeks in a balloon, or a Chinese story from and around the world in 80 days, and somewhere along the way they rode an elephant across Africa, or across well, it looks like an African elephant actually. Babar the elephant, and the story of Noah, and it looks like they got 2 different species of elephants. So maybe they wouldn't have, it wouldn't have helped to have 2. And the fable of how the elephant got its trunk. Its nose was pulled by a crocodile, and it stretched out its nose, and he got a trunk. Or the story of Dumbo. So we've got Disneyland Hong Kong, and we have a Dumbo flying across the stamp. One of my favorite movies is Ice Age with Ray Romano as the voice of the woolly mammoth. And I'm not quite sure about this San Marino. We've got an elephant running, carrying the torch for the Olympics in 2000. Or the strange elephant wearing earphones from Switzerland. Or elephants in advertising. Ringling Brothers, Bonnerman Bailey Circus on a U.S. stamp from a few years ago, and a pretty decorated elephant, and a revenue stamp from I think that's from India for the toddy concessions, and University of Alabama mascot is an elephant. Now they call them the Crimson Tide, but they have a elephant. This is a poster stamp. It's not a real stamp. But there's other things called elephants. There's an elephant beetle. There's an elephant shrew, an elephant hawk moth. There's Elephant Rock in New Zealand, and it sure looks like an elephant. And there's elephant seals from the Antarctic area. If you're interested in other things about elephants or elephant welfare organizations, Paws Web has the Performing Animal Welfare Society Refuge in California. Elephants.com has a refuge in Tennessee you cannot visit, but they have a lot of videos on YouTube, so you can go and watch elephants being cute. Worldwildlife.org has all kind of species, not just elephants. Or if you really just want to watch elephants doing stuff, explore.org has live cams, and they have live cams for penguins and elephants and hippopotamus and deer and dogs and puppies and everything you could think of. That's all, folks. I happen to love this one. We get the elephants, we get Kilimanjaro, and then we get this funny looking giraffe.
I love the giraffe photo bombing. That's great. Thank you, Alan. That was fun. That was great.
Got any questions?
Tom Fortunato mentions there's elephant garlic.
Gastronomy.
There you go. Glenn says, thanks for the presentation, and was wondering, do you collect all of these stamps for your presentation?
No, I do not.
That would be...
There's a place I go and I capture pictures of stamps because I'll get an idea for a presentation, and it's like I don't have enough money to build a collection of everything. I've got about 25 presentations floating around right now.
Dawn said, I've heard that elephants are very smart. What do you know about that?
I do know that they're smart, and I've been watching Secrets of the Zoo on Disney, and they show elephants learning to do things to get the food, or, and they have to remember, oh, you have to go here and you have to pull this rope across the floor to get the food to me. So, yes, elephants can be very smart.
I've seen ones of them painting pictures as well, which I think is fun.
Oh,
David,
yes, I've seen the elephant ear plants. My neighbor has a bunch of them covering her front yard.
and the ATA list for elephants has 1,380 stamps on it, just for any of you who are thinking about starting a new collection. Thank you so much, Alan. This was great fun. I loved it. You had some great images there, and thank you so much. Appreciate you taking the time. And thank you, everybody, for coming this evening. And we hope that you'll come back to all of our future presentations and come chat with us on Stamping Ground.